And it was the great English radical and Democrat Thomas Paine who said you should never waste a crisis.
This is Neil and we're here occupying Dame Street in solidarity with Occupy Wall Street, which started in New York about 3-4 weeks ago and has just expanded globally. So this is Dublin's occupation. It's one of hundreds of cities around the world doing this. So that's what we're doing.
And how long have you been out here?
Just got here just over 24 hours ago.
And what are your aims with this? What are your aims?
To start a conversation.
Start a conversation.
That never ends, that leads to a fairer, better world for everybody.
We're going now.
If you want to talk into the microphone and have it work, you need to basically be touching it with your lips.
Otherwise you sound like this.
Okay? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? No. This is how you talk into it, like this. Give it a little kiss. Okay? Alright, starting with topic 1, our ethos. We want to be a peaceful movement, obviously. We want to have a bit of compassion. We want to listen to people and other opinions that are brought to this. And mostly to each other, but there's going to be people who disagree with us, and we want to at least show them a little bit of compassion. This is a all-class, all-people movement, and we're going to keep it that way.
Yay!
Oh yeah, just really quickly, there's 3 main hand gestures that matter. Like this is I agree. Like this with 2 hands down is I disagree. And I have a point. Okay, I want to say something basically. They're very difficult contentious issues. I mean, early this morning I sent to the New York Assembly of what was going on here, and they are blown away. The first day we fucking rocked it.
I have a problem with people before politics, and say we have to go out of our way and say this is politics. This is politics as we think it should be.
I suppose I just wanted to make a point. I think the point that you made was very good in that there's 2 things. First of all, the whole point of this idea is that there is no one political agenda. There is no one outcome or response or one reason why we're here. We all have our own individual reasons. And so I don't think there needs to be a coordinated, response or recorded identity or anything like that. I think that's the whole point of us being here.
Political parties putting up with big banners and hijacking it. It's very simple, like. It's a political situation. Specifically, the banks have taken over politics. We all know this. We're not really going to disagree on that. So I just don't want parties propaganda here going, join our party, we're the best. Because they're all corrupt.
This is not the way it's supposed to be. We promised ourselves a revolution, but we ended up standing out in the cold again. Is there any other place for us to go? Or is there even anywhere that we know? No.
I'm delighted to see this. I never thought I'd see this in my day. This is my day. I never thought I'd see this.
All of the kids
we've all had to see.
I don't know who to ask to get quiet. Is it okay to get the musician that has come to play that we invited us?
Okay, and are there any crucial issues or anything else for sleeping for tonight? Health issues, anything like that?
So, we've already set up a media team. We've got events planned. We've got community involved. We've got legal advisors. There's a food tent. So within 24 hours, we've set up the infrastructure of a small village.
I'm dealing mainly with kind of Twitter streams and Facebook and the website at the minute, and we're getting a lot more followers. Like over the past 3 days, we've had like 1,000 more people like on our Facebook page. So we're really making progress. We're getting more organised every day, like, you know, and more focused, really. You know.
As I speak now, we are coming out of a period where the Irish trade union movement and a lot of the Irish left have been asleep through a process of social partnership with employers and with governments for the last 20 years. We find ourselves in a situation where the sovereignty of our people is gone. And we are told it's gone because if we didn't do what they told us to do, the markets would not have faith in us. And the solution has to come about from the creation of a bottom-up movement, based, in my opinion, in the first place, with the first objective of such a movement should be to win back the Irish trade union, which still number 600,000 people, to win them back to what they should be, which is organisations that fight and stand up for their members.
Why don't you call for the people that you say that you represent, for the Irish Congress of Trade Unions, to come out on strike?
Well, that's a matter of judgment, because I will give you the straightforward answer to that. If I thought I could get people to respond to a strike, I would call a strike. It's simply my judgment that we have to give people the confidence to do small things before we ask them to do big things. And if we can't convince them to do the small thing, like a demonstration in working time, that will come later. But we can't start at the top, we have to start at the bottom, and we have to find a level where we're relevant to them and not where we alienate ourselves from them.
And we're already at the bottom.
Okay.
What that gentleman said, we are at the bottom. It is time for strikes. Not next year, now. Today, tomorrow, we need a strike from all the members of the trade unions, regardless of what union you're in. We need to strike. The people need to strike. And they need people like you yourself to encourage it. I mean, we are at the bottom. The budget has been made, that man has said it himself. We know what's coming. There's more cuts. And who are the cuts from? For the vulnerable people, the people that are on the dole, on welfare. They're the first cuts to come. And the workers are going to be next. So we need a strike now. We can't wait any longer. The damage has been done. And there's more coming, and a lot more. And it's because the trade unions didn't get out and strike. They worked with the Dáil, they worked with all the ministers, with Fianna Fáil, all of the ministers. They don't want the people to go out and strike because it's going to show the country up, them up, the politicians up, what they were doing, nothing but filling their own pockets.
You do not need to tell the Garda your address. You do not need to tell the Garda what your intent is, where you're going, where you've come from. It's none of his business. The only information a Garda can lawfully demand from you under Section 24 is your name and address. And he may only demand that if he reasonably suspects that you have committed an offence under one of the relevant provisions. Yeah, basically speaking, a reasonable suspicion is actual evidence, not some paranoid fantasy or delusion, or some prior knowledge of you. If you've been arrested 3 years ago for fucking stealing a newspaper, the Garda cannot come up to you and say, well, I know you've got a criminal fucking record, I know that you've done this, I know that you think this way, therefore I think that you're now possibly engaged in an offence, you can ignore the fucker at that point.
Today it is Thursday and we were here since Saturday, and the first night there was probably about 20 of us camping here, and we go now with the 30 to 40 of us camping on a night, and then in the daytime there'll be 60 to 80 people here around the camp. I mean, everyone knows that there's been a lot of anger, and despite the Irish people, it takes a lot for Irish people to get motivated, and I think it's kind of a national shyness. No one wants to be the first to get up and say no, I don't want. But once a few people have done it, that's all that everyone else needs to say. Yes, actually, I agree with what they're saying, or you know, I'm not happy about the situation either. So want to change things.
Create disharmony, and we're living disharmony. We're not living freedom. You see, when the bourgeois revolution of France happened, what was their banner? Égalité, equality. So the word, the equality comes from the ruling class. Equality. And liberté.
No pan para tanto chorizo. Banat, banjai. No pan para tanto chorizo. Banat, banjai. No pan para tanto chorizo. Banat, banjai. What's the cost of your own slavery? Cities of the world might be big to the free. No, the best sleight of hand we've ever seen. Sleep to be tired and won't live by their dream. No, pan para tanto chorizo. No, there's someone. Banat, banjai. No, pan para tanto chorizo. Banat, banjai. No, pan para tanto chorizo. Banat, banjai. No, pan para tanto chorizo.